At 7 years old, Ethan Cole knew how to cook a full dinner, balance a checkbook, and lie so convincingly no adult ever questioned him. But there was one thing Ethan never learned: how to be a child. Ethan grew up in a quiet suburb outside Chicago, the kind of place where nothing bad was supposed to happen. White fences, neatly cut lawns, smiling neighbors, and inside one of those houses lived a boy everyone admired. Straight A student, perfect behavior, never complained. Teachers praised him, parents envied him. They all said the same thing: he's going to be something great. But they were wrong. He wasn't becoming something great. He was becoming something controlled. Inside Ethan's home, there were no toys scattered on the floor, no cartoons playing in the background, no laughter echoing through the halls. There was only structure. His father believed discipline created excellence. His mother believed emotions created weakness. So together, they built a system that didn't raise a child, a system that manufactured one. Every morning at exactly 5 a.m., Ethan's alarm went off. No snoozing, no delays. If he hesitated even for a second, his father was already at the door, watching, always watching. Breakfast wasn't a family moment. It was silent, timed, efficient. School wasn't for learning, it was for proving. And home was where mistakes were punished. The first time Ethan made a mistake, he was 6 years old. He dropped a glass of milk. It shattered across the floor. He froze, not because of the mess, but because of what came next. His father didn't yell. He didn't need to. The silence was worse. Ethan wasn't allowed to eat that night. And his mother? She simply said, "Next time, be better." That's when Ethan learned something most children never should. Love was conditional. It came with rules, with expectations, with consequences. And if you failed, it disappeared. By the time he turned 9, Ethan had stopped crying completely, not because he didn't feel pain, but because pain had no purpose. Crying didn't fix anything, it only made things worse. So he adapted, he evolved, he became perfect. But perfection comes at a cost, because when you suppress emotions long enough, they don't disappear, they change. One evening, during a storm, Ethan stood by the window. Across the street, kids were laughing, running through the rain, free in a way he couldn't understand. And for the first time, he felt something unfamiliar: jealousy. That night, Ethan made a choice, a small one, but irreversible. He got a question wrong, on purpose. He waited. His father noticed immediately. The punishment came, cold, precise, expected. But this time, Ethan didn't cry. He smiled. Because for the first time in his life, he felt something powerful: control. From that moment on, Ethan didn't try to escape the system, he mastered it. He studied people the same way he studied math: patterns, reactions, weaknesses. He learned how to say exactly what others wanted to hear, how to mirror emotions he didn't feel, how to become whoever they needed him to be. At school, he became popular. At home, he became untouchable, because now he wasn't just surviving, he was calculating. Then one night, everything changed. Ethan was 13 years old when his parents disappeared. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, no evidence, just gone. The investigation lasted weeks. Theories spread quickly, but none of them were right, because no one asked the one question that mattered: what if the perfect child wasn't a victim? Years later, Dr. Ethan Cole became one of the most respected psychologists in America. He specialized in human behavior, understanding people, breaking them, rebuilding them. He helped criminals confess, helped victims heal, but there was one mind he never tried to fix: his own. In his office, hidden in a locked drawer, was a journal. The final page read, "I was never raised to be loved. I was raised to perform. I was raised to be perfect. So I became something better." No one ever suspects the perfect child. One afternoon, Ethan sat across from a young boy. The boy was silent, emotionless, familiar. Ethan leaned forward. "Do your parents love you?" The boy whispered, "I don't think they know how." Ethan leaned back and smiled, then quietly said, "Good."